After the Amazon, the largest extent of tropical forest is found in Mesoamerica. This map depicts in green the large forested areas present in the year 2000. Yet within the last 20 years, massive areas have been deforested, particularly in Guatemala and southern Mexico, reducing this invaluable forest, which to this day constitutes a refuge for plants and animals that have been decimated elsewhere due to deforestation. Examples of this are the healthy populations of jaguars, tapirs, and other large mammals found in the Yucatan Peninsula. Changes in land use, increasing population, large-scale agriculture, energy demands, and the pressure of the national and transnational companies for the subterraneous water sources have exerted a toll on this land, pushing forest fragmentation and water contamination. Threats to the environment are shown in this map, from the highways that fragment the territory, here in orange lines, to the pig and poultry farms that are frequent in the north of the peninsula and are important sources of water pollution, shown in yellow. Orange spots cover the whole map. These are areas where the terrain is excavated to obtain limestone for construction. Most of these sites are recent and are there to provide materials to build the train, which is marked with red tracks on the map. It encircles the Yucatan Peninsula, promising to bring tourists from the white-sanded Caribbean beaches deep into the forest. The construction of this train started in 2020 and it's set to conclude in December 2023. The government decided to call it Tren Maya, translated as the Mayan Train, but the train is not Maya and it's not just a train. It is not fortuitous that these forests that have been home to the Maya civilization for thousands of years have been so well preserved. To this day, 37% of the population of the Yucatan Peninsula are fluent in the Maya language, and more than 50% considers themselves Mayan. The Yucatec Maya created a culture that relies on biodiversity to subsist. Therefore, a basic drive of their culture is its preservation. The agronomical practices in their milpas or plots and solares or house gardens mimic the diversity of the forest, including more than 100 plant varieties. They have practiced the slash-and-burn agriculture that is characteristic of the intertropical zones where heat and humidity decrease the residence time of nutrients in the soil, and to cultivate, it is necessary to bring nutrients down from the forest vegetation. Here, climate is characterized by high temperatures with two seasons, a rainy one and another one that is dry and prolonged. In addition, the soil is stony, poor and shallow. Therefore, the agronomical system relies more on the falling of the forest biodiversity to bring down sufficient nutrients for the milpas or col, as their plots are called in Maya. These are farmed in small plots to allow swifter forest regeneration. A variety of crops with different life cycles and requirements ensure that even in the harshest years, harvest will be available. Home gardens, beekeeping, hunting and gathering are also important activities that link the Maya productive system with the surrounding diversity. For example, the Maya milperos consider that birds have the right to eat. Therefore, as they plant, they sow an excess of seeds so that birds can feed. Also, the process of selection of plant species for wood provides evidence of the Maya values, as this practice is limited to gathering deadwood while respecting live vegetation. Foraging activities for firewood, construction, ritual, and medicinal plants are very common, and in all of them, the Maya knowledge and values of respect and care for biodiversity are, in many ways, present. However, this balance, based on the knowledge of the biosystem and the value system associated to it, come under threat as the tropical forest is decimated and the territory and culture of the Maya people are invaded by the expanding dominant language and capitalist economy and culture. The Maya Train, in particular, produces and requires an homogenizing development model, which consists of changes in land use and the urbanization of otherwise rural communities. The Maya Train megaproject will connect several cities, many of which are considered important tourist areas in the Yucatan Peninsula, this megaproject will modify the southern Mexican region not only by the construction of the train infrastructure, but also by the development and construction of roads, hotels, and shopping centers for mass tourists or new urban development poles, none of which come from the Maya culture and generally clash with forest conservation. They constitute a direct attack on the Maya ideas, values, and practices, which practically amount to an expropriation of their territory. All these transformations will have an influence on modifying the quality and quantity of the water source in the Yucatan Peninsula and affect the water balance of the region, which can impact the groundwater-dependent ecosystems that occur in the peninsula, especially in the coastal zone. In many coastal regions of the Yucatan Peninsula, unordered growth is expanding and imposing a significant increase in the risk of contamination and overexploitation of the Yucatan aquifer and of superficial bodies of water. These latter, some of them man-made, have been used for thousands of years for watering, bathing, cooking, and less frequently for drinking. The project design did not address a comprehensive evaluation of all impacts on the environment, and its construction has encountered many problems with the karstic nature of the peninsula's floor. It also crosses several protected areas and archaeological zones, and its social and economic impact on the coastal communities in the route was not analyzed. The construction of bridges and railways along the coast may alter beach dynamics and coastal erosion. Infrastructure development in low-lying areas close to the coast could exacerbate flooding problems, especially in regions prone to extreme weather events such as hurricanes, negatively affecting the marine ecosystems and coastal reef and marine biodiversity on which it relies. All of this could even threaten the tourist activity in practically the entire coastal area in the Mexican Caribbean region, therefore defeating one of the train's main purposes. Even when the government argues that the project could increase awareness and appreciation of the Mayan cultural heritage and promote the preservation of archaeological sites and the revitalization of cultural traditions, the careless destruction of Maya sites during the construction contradicts this hope. The influx of tourists and the commercialization of Mayan culture could create tensions, folklorization, and other changes in the way Mayan culture is appreciated and valued. It will encourage internal migration among communities, but also their displacement, strengthened by external tourist migration, and focus their growth and development towards the adoption of values related to development and modernization in the surrounding areas. Some communities may see the train as an opportunity for economic growth and progress. This could cause conflict between individuals and communities as their practices and values, always related to nature, are forcefully altered by the industrial rhythm of the megaproject. In this context, several local actors, such as organized Maya communities, NGOs, and scientists, have come together to alert of the environmental and cultural dangers of the megaproject, and to demand that the government follows the legal steps that such a project requires, like ecological assessments and indigenous consultations. Our group represents one of these interdisciplinary coalitions, and we are currently working on a project whose objective is to contribute to strengthen the organizational capacities and to empower the communities that will be impacted by the Maya Train megaproject by facilitating the participatory self-management of territory, therefore enhancing the socioecological resilience of the affected landscape.